Assalamualaikum.
Sorry, can you hear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Alaikum salam. Good evening again. Sorry for the interruption that we have to for abide, or we have to go through that problem. It is a 40-minute session, so we'll try to quickly start the program so that we can finish it by the next 40-minute time. Inshallah. Abrar, you have joined back. Is it Abrar? Abrar,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Are you ready to give the presentation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's see, I can, okay, multiple. Now you can share your screen and you can start with the presentation. Abrar will say about the World Environment Day. Uh, that that is his topic. He will enlighten us about the theme of that particular day. Abrar, please go ahead. Fine.
Assalamu alaikum, gentlemen. So today our topic is World Environment Day. World Environment Day, WED, first held in 1974, is celebrated annually on 5th June for encouraging awareness and action for the protection of the environment. It has been a platform for raising awareness on environmental issues such as marine pollution, human overpopulation, global warming, sustainable consumptions, and wildlife crime. Also, environment is a thing with which we are very much saturated and dependent. So it's our duty to keep our environment pure and healthy. And one of the effective steps to keep our environment fresh is ecosystem restoration. Ecosystem restoration is defined as a process of reversing the degradations of ecosystems such as landscapes, lakes, and oceans to regain their ecological functionality. In other words, to improve the productivity and capacity of ecosystems to meet the needs of society. In very simple form, it is taking some measures to keep our ecosystem in a sustainable position. So let's take an example. In figure number one, you can see that humans are cutting trees randomly for fulfilling their needs, but we are not planting trees as much as we are consuming. But if we plant that much of tree which we are cutting, then it will be an effective measure towards ecosystem restoration, which we can see in figure number two. So why it is necessary? It means why ecosystem restoration is necessary for livelihood. Second of all, changing lifestyle. Third of all, overpopulation, and fourth, for next generation. Let's talk about in details. In first, for livelihood. As we mentioned, humans are dependent upon nature. Our food and everyday accessories are coming from nature. That's why we need to think about it. Our second option is changing lifestyle. In prior time, their lifestyle was not the same like today. Their lifestyle was so much healthy that it was not hampered the nature. But our lifestyle, where we are very much habituated with such things which ultimately they distorted our nature. That's why we need to think about it again now. Again, take an example of plastic. Think how much plastic we are using now and how much plastic was used before. Also, if we talk about detergent, which is one of the vital materials that destroy biological chain, think about the amount of using it before and now. That's why changing lifestyle is one of the reasons which emphasize us to take steps for ecosystem ecological restorations. Third option is overpopulation. Now it is the century of overpopulated. For fulfilling the demand, we are consuming the wealth of our nature very badly and cruelly, by which the wealth of nature the wealth of nature is being distorted continuously. The fourth is for next generation. The most important part, if we destroy our nature like that way and let our nature in unharmed, then it will be impossible to lead a healthy life for the next generation. In short, we are leaving plastic and a toxic environment for our next generation. Measures for restoring ecosystems. So that's some of the steps which we can restore our by which we can restore our ecosystem. Number one, recycling everything. Number two, giving nature as first priority. Number three, skipping the unhealthy tradition. Number four, planting more trees. Number five, industry needs to comply proper rules. Number six, reproducing the consuming things. Now let's talk in details. Number one, recycling everything. Take an example of plastic. We all know that plastic is an indigestible material of nature. It is harmful for every aspect, including agriculture. But we can use it for constructing our home as well as road. Nigerian engineer Yahya Ahmed first made a home with plastic bottle. He also claimed that by using plastic, his home will remain more cool and will everlasting. Also, only in India, where 15,000 tons of plastic spoil every day. Here, R. Vasudevan, one of the genius, think to reuse it and discovered a technique where by using plastic in road construction, we can get a very soft and long-lasting road. And that is how, if we give effort, and we can restore what we actually throw away as a spoiled material. Giving nature as a first priority. We need to give nature as a first priority to keep our ecosystem healthy. Many science experiments and military exercise hinder our natural ecosystem rapidly. As we know, in 1945, atom bomb is triggered towards the Earth in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. After that, many years pass. Till now, there are some places which are forbidden for humans due to radiation. So we need to think before doing any activities to restore our ecosystem. Number three, which is because skipping the unhealthy tradition in Kurwani or Pahil. In each occasion, we especially South Asian people used to pollute our environment rapidly, randomly. If we look at Arabian or European nation, then we can analyze that they maintain a proper slaughterhouse by which they used to celebrate their occasion in a proper manner so that it does not hinder the nature. Also in Deepavali, the smoke of fireworks flood the air. So that's how our some tradition directly or indirectly hinders our environment, which forced to change our ecosystem. So there's the picture. So in this slide, we can see a slaughterhouse where animal is being slaughtered in a proper hygienic manner. Planting more trees. Planting trees is the most step to restore our ecosystem. Due to environment, we have to clean many forests, but also we need to really give due respect to plant the trees which we are cutting. Number five, industry needs to comply proper rules. Industry, which is group of productive enterprises or organizations that produce or supply goods, services, or sources of income. It is actually fulfilling the demand of the growing population, but the industrial residual, which is harmful for every human being, distorts our ecological balance. Though in the industry hinders us by many ways, but we need it. So the Cambridge MIT Institute has launched some regulation to reduce the pollution offered by the industrial company. We are we all industry need to follow the regulation, and one of the prominent regulation is that we all know the liquid disposal of industry directly omit into the river, which actually destroy the environment of our nature. But they launch a technique which is making a divider between the river and the industry, by which the industrial material first went to the divider pole, Then it go to the river. By this, the rate of the toxicity of that liquid decreases appreciably, reproducing the consuming thing. We are actually consuming the natural wealth by which the ecological balance is damaged. But if we produce or regain the thing which we are using, then we can restore our ecological balance. We can see in the slide that in 2008, we collect the resources of that places, but by maintaining properly, we again regain the resources. And that's how we can restore the ecology. Measures which should taken by mariners. Um, Number one, maintaining proper GMP, garbage management plan, and following all the regulation adequately. Measures should, as ocean, which is the work field of mariners, is two-thirds of the earth, is creating a great impact towards the environment. So mariners have some specific duty for keeping the balance of ecosystem. So number one is maintaining proper GMP, garbage management plan. They have produced lots of garbage in ship to avoid the mixing of this garbage with ocean under Annex 5 of MARPOL. Every ship above 100 gross tonnage needs to maintain a GMP plan. And our duty is to maintain that GMP plan properly without making any gala. Number two, following all the regulation adequately. Um, we needs to follow all the regulation to avoid any kinds of collision. Hope by this way we can give a healthy environment for our next generation. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I will discuss about, thank you for your presentation. We will discuss about something what we have come through from his presentation or what we learned from it the, at the end of this session when I will say something about all the presentees. Now, Saleh, Abu Saleh, you want to say something about your participation or your activities in the club? Yeah, you can share off tomorrow screen. Your screen, you can just take it off
Yes, sir.
so that Abu Saleh may talk 4 or 5 minutes about his. Still, it is there. Is it there? Still, it is presentation is on the screen. You can screen share off the screen share. Okay, Abu Saleh. Okay.
My sincere greetings to all present here. Assalamu alaikum. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to the great Almighty Allah, by whose infinity grace we are here. Also, thanks to today's honorable moderator to give me a floor to express myself. And it's a great opportunity for me to work with the Ocean Sustainability Club. All over the world, we are talking about a sustainable future. Here, the Ocean Sustainability Club also working for sustainable future. But why do we need to thought about the sustainable development? I want to express it from first. First, there was the planet, and then come people. And for thousands and thousands of years, they coexisted happily. The planet and everything in it worked together, which was good. But it wasn't quite good enough because life was tough. Everything had to be done by hand, and it was hard work. So people invented technology and machines to help them. And the machines worked, and life became a little easier, which is good, but it wasn't quite good enough. Because these machines are used to fossil fuels like coal, oil, and fossil fuels release lots of carbon into the atmosphere. That causes climate change. Humans have released more than 2 million metric tons of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere since the start of the first industrial revolution. And the vast majority of these emissions have occurred since in mid 1950s. This is the more carbon than nature can reabsorb. And Every year, humanity pumps out more than 50 billion additional tons of greenhouse gases. This blanket of carbon in our atmosphere is heating the planet and changing our climate. Already the planet's temperature has risen by 1 degree Celsius, and if you don't curb emissions and the temperature continues to climb, science tell us that the results will be catastrophic. Scientists agree if we don't do anything, temperature could be rise somewhere between 1.5 and 4.5 degrees Celsius. So, what can we do? We should look for a different kind of energy, clean energy, like that from the sun, the earth, the wind, and the sea. And the best part was they didn't release any carbon into the atmosphere. So we can call it carbon-free energy, which is good. It's good news that world-leading companies are promised to reach carbon neutral in 2030. They try to production carbon-free product which will be 100% recyclable. Which one of the greatest example is the Tesla car, which is an electric car. No need fuel to run, so it doesn't release carbon into the atmosphere. Even Elon Musk offering $100 million prizes for the best technologies to scrub carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. So everything doing something from their position. But what should we do? Is there anything that can we do? Obviously, I think the majority of this part can be done by us as a general people. There are about 160 million people in Bangladesh. If one person tries to don't waste 1 taka equivalent electricity, we can save 160 million taka equivalent electricity. It's just an example. So from my position, which is the little steps I took, it's important. The number one can be a less number, but 160 million is made by every one number. From our position, anything we can do. It can be planting a tree. Do you live in a city? You don't have enough land to plant trees? No problem. You can plant trees over the roof. And the roof garden has become popular in Dhaka city. So the moral is that you can do anything from your position for the sustainable future. It can be so little, but the thing is you did it. And here is the Ocean Sustainability Club to work with you. As a member of Ocean Sustainability Club, I also think about the sustainable development. As I love electronics, so I take a part by doing something with electronics that can be energy saving or produce carbon-free energy. I made a device that can monitor a real-time status of every electronics component in my home from anywhere by mobile phone, and also can control those, by which I am trying to prevent the waste of electricity. This device also can detect is there anyone in the room or not. And if is there anyone in the room, then it's automatically turns off light and fan. By this, we can prevent the waste of electricity. By the way, it's really important that what can we do from our purpose? It can be a little. And this is the main of our Ocean Sustainability Club that be the change to see the change. Thank you from Abu Saleh.
Thank you so much, Abu Saleh. It was a great presentation, and we should give some clap to him virtually because he has actually shown us that if you have wish, you do not have to wait. Nobody should push you. He has taken his own initiative. What actually we try to pass the message that every individual counts, every matter, every action counts, every individual matter. So he has some talent on that side. He has shown his own talent. So he said that if we cannot do anything, at least we can stop the lights. We should be careful when we can teach our children that do not switch on the light continuously, or we can plant the trees, or we can take some things which is on the street, and we take it out and we put it into the dustbin or proper place, people will learn from us. So everybody from their own places, if we act, that so many people in Bangladesh will be able to change the situation. And that is the motto of our country, for our club, that be the change to see the change. So now, as we have some time problem or shortage of our this unofficial version of Zoom, so I'll ask the mentors. First, I will ask the junior, one of the junior mentors, means among them, the Sadman. Sadman, you just passed out recently, and I know
Sir,
you.
assalamu alaikum, sir.
Alaikum salam. Sadman, can you just highlight or you can encourage your next generation that how actually they could take part more actively in this kind of activities of our club?
Yes, sir. So, respected Captain Firoz Mustafa, sir, Raj, sir, my dear fellow juniors, assalamu alaikum, and a very good evening to all of you. At first, I'd like to seeking pardon because I'm facing some problem with my video. So I'll continue with my audio. And obviously, I'm feeling so honored for having such opportunity to say something for my dear juniors. Today, the theme of this program is about ecosystem restoration. Actually, if we simply say the ecosystem restoration is a process of assisting the recovery of ecosystem that has been degraded, damaged, or destroyed. So we are losing many species day by day. This can be animal or tree. So now if we ask the question that comes that how can we restore the ecosystem? Well, bringing degraded ecosystems back to the life, for example, by planting trees, cleaning up river banks, or simply giving nature space to recover, and by avoiding deforestation and hunting the animals. Now come to the point of benefits or outcome of the ecosystem restoration. Well, it provides habitat to wild plants and animals. It promotes various foods and food webs. So as far I know, that the world's largest ecosystem restoration project is known as Predator-Free New Zealand. They followed up four basic principles of ecosystem restoration. One is health, second is integrity, third is sustainability, and the fourth one is disturbance. Well, listening three of my juniors, I am so thrilled and satisfied as well as cause they have done their level best. Beside, they presented three particular annual days in different manner. So at first, there was Muhassir who presented the Arts Day 2021. He tried his level best to cover up every point about recent condition of the earth. And yeah, I am firmly agreed with his two different aspects. One of those is publicity issue. Gradually, media is avoiding these sort of problems to publish. Secondly, he proposed for using a mobile app, which is very effective, I guess, to defeat pollution environment. To defeat polluting environment. And then comes to the Seafarers Day, which is covered by Shovan. He mainly pointed out problems and basic needs. I appreciate that. Even I appreciate three speakers for their hard efforts. I hope every cadet from 56 come up like them and enroll themselves. Then Abrar presented at last that World Environment Day. He tried to cover up the pollutions of our world, and he successfully showed us various sources of pollutions and his some of the thoughts. So juniors, look, OSC is a platform where you can develop your skill, and by that you can be a part of the social worker. Moreover, as I observed you back then in the academy, you have to learn a lot and have to have the knowledge about the world and the current conditions of our environment. I think those who are hiding themselves, they should come up with the confidence and courage from your batch. This is my advice and my honest request to my juniors. Please avoid throwing anything, any plastics anywhere you like, or better avoid using plastic materials. Remember, we have major players from different fields who all agree we need to be educating educating youth in order to create a citizenry rich, willing, and able to address climate change and other environmental problems locally or globally. So don't think that someone will come to solve every problem. Remember, if you avoid taking any initiative, your future generation will be sufferer. And it's so rude getting blamed from new generation. Suppose you couldn't treat your juniors well, then they will blame you at one time. So this seems so cringe, doesn't it? So same thing will happen if you leave this world polluted and unlivable. for your future generation. So with the motto of the club, be the change to see the change, you have to be changed first according to you have to be you have to change yourself first, then you need to change the world. So that's all from my side. Thank you for everyone listening to me. Stay safe and always wear the mask everywhere. Thank you all.
Thank you, Sadman, for your encouraging words. I believe we already encourage, and our next generation will be more encouraged, and they will follow the valuable advices that you have just given to us or to your juniors. So now we'll go to Raj. Raj, you can say a few words. You are the senior most mentor here, and you are the pioneer batch to whom I have started this initiative. Yeah, Raj.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. So first of all, thanks to Almighty that He has given me chance to be present here. So, respected Captain Firoz Mustafa sir, and to all dear juniors, Assalamu alaikum and good evening. So today we all have gathered here to talk about the environmental restoration. As my junior Sadman has already mentioned some few major points from previous speakers. But I will tell you something from the seafarer perspective. You have talked about from overall views, but let me talk about how a seafarer can create a hazard to environment and how he can um, do harm to the environment system and how he can help to restoration of this environmental system. So actually we need to know that what is the environmental restoration. This is nothing but actually the process of repairing the damaged ecosystem that we have done for the last few centuries through human activity, war, and so many things, wrong thing to the ecosystem and to the environment. So this damage includes ocean, lake, stream, field, coastline, soils, so many things. And these harms to nature are basically done in two ways, naturally and artificially. Naturally means like by cyclone, by tsunami, by flooding, and artificially is basically by human activity. So in 21st century, now all we have understand that we are going through a environmental challenges, and that's why the all world leaders, they have arranged so many conference seminar to raise the alarm, to make the awareness. So many things they have done. Even we have seen a few days ago that Maldives, they have arranged a meeting under the ocean in a different way. So even the UN, they have declared this era as a ecosystem restoration decade. Finally, and eventually, we all have understand that we have to repair the environment. We cannot fight against the environment. And to achieve the sustainable development goal, we have to protect the nature, stem the pollution, and we have to stabilize the climate. And now let's talk about how this environment get hampered. Finally, in every day we use the plastic and throw it to the drain, to lake, to river, or to any pond, and this is entering in the ecosystem. And finally, this is resulting harm to nature, and ultimately the human being, they are the sufferer. And the human construction like building of road, urbanization, and high-rise building, mills, factories, they are also creating problem to the nature. They are emitting the carbon dioxide. And when this destruction level is more severe, we can see that microlives who are living in the water, air, or in the soil, they are dying. And we know that how important these are for the planet Earth and for what the seafarers are actually responsible, like oil spillage into the sea. Oil spillage, this does harm to the nature like this way. This create a layer over the sea surface, and this layer hinders the sunlight to pass to go to deep of the ocean. And we all know that all living animals in this planet or marine life, whatever, living in the
Raj, if I
desert, living
just
in the
interrupt
land.
you, Raj, 1 minute. Sorry, we have
Okay, sir.
8 minutes left. If you can actually 2 3 minutes can sum up your, so that I can
I can
actually.
I can finish, no problems. I can
Yeah,
finish. I can
because
finish.
you just please give
I
some
can finish.
suggestion to your juniors so that they will be more active. Because otherwise,
Okay,
I
sir.
don't think that we will join back again. It will not be a good suggestion.
Okay, so when all of you will obviously join into the sea. So when you join in the sea, in ship, so you have to follow some things so that you can save the nature and you can be friendly to the nature. Like obviously you will get some particularly sensitive area or any special area. So when you will go to this area, there is a particular regulation that you can throw, what you can throw, what you cannot throw. You have to know the regulation, you have to follow that. And obviously you will do all the thing when there will be bunkering. As a cadet or as an officer, you will have a duty on bunkering. If you are engineer, obviously then you have to be much more conscious. Even you are a deck guy, you have when you will be a duty officer, you have important duty to look over all these things because you will be the in charge. So obviously you will have to follow all these things.
Raj, are you there with us? Might be some problem with his connection. Raj, are you there? Other, you can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Those, if I'll say, if anybody who can open your cameras, it will be better. At least we can see virtually our faces. I don't know. Some people might have some restriction, but if you can open the cameras just for last moment, we can see our faces. Not a problem. It's a formal or informal or kind of a informal kind of a gathering, so not a big problem. We can see our faces at least in the this guy, and you can see your batchmates. You, anyhow, and say hi to everybody. Nice gathering. This was Raj. I will catch him up afterwards. I can see some of your faces very good. So thank you for your joining. And actually, it was a great time with you. And at least 40 people finally, I got sometimes 40 people join. It is good participation. And some ladies also there. Anybody have anything important to share with us? 1-2 minutes? Any of the audience? Okay. So what is the and a very excited news that you will see in our, I will ask people to share your links to your friends and your well-wishers who are you consider they are actually good for our club, and join to our, give us a request to the club, you make the club members and more, try to contribute, and your batchmates. I think many of them do not know, try to engage them. And then secondly, today I have found that one of my article published in the Seaways, that is the Seafarers magazine, the international one of the reputed nautical institute magazine.
Congratulations, sir.
You can see this is the I have posted in the Facebook group. So this volume, my article, and that is highlighting our this academy, this our club activities, and they have recognized it. So it's a very good thing that we have gone to the international level, our club. So hopefully we'll slowly we'll gather the momentum, and your support will be very required. Don't go pass out, and don't think that many of you, please come out, stay with us, keep contribution, volunteer. It's a volunteer things, and this is the way we can take that, we can make a change. About the Abu Saleh, and I will request that the Abu Saleh will share his story, and we will try to present as a project his one, if Abu Saleh agree as a club member, inshallah. Secondly, anybody, please share your experience, that what you have done. You have put a plant, you write a story. We have a website, you please visit. We have a blog that site, that in that website you write your experience, and this is the way you show the world that you are contributing from your side. You write something that what you have done today, or like 1 month that you have do something, that Abu Saleh has done something. No need that he is a scientist, he makes something, but at least do something and share it, that I did not I try to use less amount of energy this month by being aware. Write that one. I try to plant something. I try to teach my younger brother that don't throw the plastic into the water. I try to do this. Write this kind of blogs. Your experience share, please. I will request that you should do it, so that our people will learn that we are changing. You are changing. Otherwise, talking is nothing. We have to act. Act is very important. Secondly, that is one thing. And the secondly is that apps. We will try. I will try to share that how we will use the apps. That what it's a good thing. At least for every member, that is the thing that the app will help you to know the world that the pollution is happening, and you are cautious about. You are taking the picture and you are loading it up, and people will know that you are cautious and you are trying to give the data to the others that what kind of pollution is happening around you, and you can actually, if you have the capacity, you can actually teach your neighborhoods. So that is from your perspective. So you can put it in your blogs also. You can share it with us. That I have taken so and so pictures, load it up, and I try to teach so and so people in the vicinity. So this is kind of activities we must do. And then finally, mask. We'll see that whether we can make our own mask with the logos. Shobhan is there in Chittagong. I'll try to talk with him. Maybe we can. How much is the money or something? We may find some disposable mask if it is possible. I'm not sure. And pollution and pollution and pollution. There is a new topics on pollution, that is ammunitions. In our website, you'll see the Terence Long, one person. He's a Canadian. He is doing a campaigning about the ammunitions. Abrar somebody has shown is the First World War, the explosive. The explosives are there, and people, navies and governments, they are actually doing the test inside the oceans, and these are there, and toxics are. That is a silent killer. We will talk about more. You try to read. Somebody have some idea. You can see in the Ocean Sustainability Club, Mr. Long. I will try, if possible, to invite him someday if, on some of our program, if he agrees. And try to. This is another kind of pollution we do not know. This is out of sight, out of mind. Underneath, it is going on. But we also be vocal on that particular aspects also. Thank you. I have 1 minute left. Thank you very much for your participation. And some seniors also, I have seen some of them, not from the 56 batch, some of them voluntarily coming from the other batches who are already passed out. Thank you very much. And please try to promote this club. This is not my club, this is the seafarers activities. Worldwide, try to promote it as many way as you can, as your own capacity. That is my last message. We'll keep in touch. Thank you very much. So we are going to leave. Anybody have anything to share? We do not have much time, maybe 1 minute. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm leaving.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Assalamu alaikum,
sir.